Hey everybody, let's say hi Joey Oli.
Hi Joey. I was in your video before.
Joey Oli.
Joey Oli.
I'm Frank Down. You're listening to Comedeorological report every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Lane 6 Central Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the CFUR 88.7 FM radio station, Prince George, and CKUW 5.9 FM radio station, Winnipeg, Manitoba. And on every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Lane 6 Time. Joey only runs the podcast, Comedian Plus Meteorology. Joey only's a really nice guy. He fights fires in the summertime, and I'm on his podcast on every Thursday nights. It's Caribou Weather to Comedian Plus Meteorology. Joey only, he's a really nice guy. Best luck, young Frank. Don't do you listen to Joey only show. Say hi, Joey only.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is the Comedeorological Report. I am Joey Only, your host. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. Comedy plus meteorology. Hello to all you meteorology students in the University of Winnipeg. I know that you're all listening very intently, and I just want you to know that I broke my tooth and I hate my life, and talking is really hard. But because I love making this show and I love talking about weather, we're doing this for you. That's right. I'm Joey Only. I live here in Wells, British Columbia, and you can hear us on CFR 88.7 FM in Prince George, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. local. And you can hear us at CKUW 95.9 FM noon in Winnipeg on Mondays. Wow, talking is so hard, but that's okay because I got lots of people to do the talking here for me. That's what the show is all about, right? We have a whole panel of comedeorologists, comedy plus meteorologists, comedians that you don't know if they're comedians, you don't know if they're meteorologists. It doesn't friggin' matter all that much. With us tonight will be off the top of the hour, Frankie McDonald, as per usual. But then we have Brandon Houck, our Western Canada radio weatherman. He's down in Brooks, Alberta, where he appears regularly on 105.7 FM, real country radio, and where he talks about smoking barbecue, smoking good barbecue, and things like that. So there he is with his brand new mic. We're glad to have him. Now, another radio person you might know from CKUW 95.9 FM is Joe Stover. How do you do? Review Joe Stover. How do you do, Joe? I'm so glad to see you. And we'll be talking to him real soon. Imogen Cookie Bailey down in Victoria, British Columbia. She's not on any radio shows, actually. But she's just Imogen. You're going to get what you get with her.
Good luck.
And she made a couple of appearances on Roger the Wild Child Show. Angie TV no longer does his podcast.
That's right. Imogen's always taking photographs down there at boxing events and things like that. And you will find Imogen selling Venerous Supplements, her her product line that she sells. We also got Pete Galenko down in Colorado. He's our driving around guy with, I can never remember because I've never taken, it's like a taxi, but you use your cell phone to call it.
A lift, yeah.
Lift.
Think you'll hear about this. A Cowboy Frankie Bell bobblehead is now available for pre-order. People can get it's going to be released in May. People can pre-order it right now.
I really want my Frankie McDonald bobblehead cowboy hat.
Frankie!
I'm doing great so far. Since the pending weather for Friday, I worked at the Mayflower Mall on Thursday, maintenance department. That was today. And I'm doing great so far. It's going to bring lots of freezing rain in Montreal. Is where base guy is. Lots of freezing rain going on in Montreal as of right now. And Colorado's getting the weather bomb. It's the way to make California's getting the weather bomb. San Francisco's getting high winds, heavy rain. Los Angeles already had a lot of rain.
Yeah, Los Angeles probably has the worst weather.
Is California bomb cyclone. That's the thing. Australia is getting warm weather, cold air, and hot weather in Australia. Lately, it's been lots of stormy weather in Europe too, and lots of rainstorms and things like this. Moscow, Russia's so cold there. They're getting into bitterly cold weather in Moscow, Russia, and up around Yakutsk, Russia's bitterly cold too.
What about the big storms in the Atlantic Ocean right now?
Right now, big storms in the Atlantic Ocean right now, and so there's no big huge storms in the Atlantic Ocean. There's a big huge storm in off the coast of California.
Yeah, the one in California could put up to 10 feet of snow in the mountains, some are saying. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, and Nevada's getting some snow too in Utah and all those places. Wyoming and Montana and those places in Idaho where Roger the Wild Child lives. They're getting lots of snow there right now, even where Roger lives.
What about in Japan this week, Frankie?
Oh my God, in Japan, they're getting cold weather in Japan as well to bring the snow in coastal areas of Japan and rain.
What's going on in Argentina?
Down in Argentina. It's really hot out in Argentina. They bring a lot of thunderstorms and rain in Venezuela, Colombia, Brazil, Peru, and all these places in Central America. Same with Uganda, Congo, Kenya, and all these places are in the rainy season. Same with Indonesia's in the rainy season. As the rain will bring so much thunderstorms and rain there right now in Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, in Australia, Northern Territory.
What's the weather like on the planet that Cal Welf is from?
Hey everybody, it's me, Frankie McDonald. I'm officially already made up that word, Cal Welf, and I am doing great so far. And I will declare Cal Welf Games, and I am doing great so far. And I declare the whole new world, the whole new word, Cal Welf. I'm Frankie McDonald. Strange weather.
What kind of strange weather, Frankie?
Don't know.
So we're introducing to the world Cal Welf, Frankie's new word that he invented actually back 20 years ago, 30 years ago or something. But Cal Welf is an alien from another world. What world is Cal Welf from, Frankie?
Sure, some kind of strange planet I don't know of.
I like to introduce myself. My name is Cal Welf. I come from another galaxy far, 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 far away. I've been traveling to strange planets and other solar systems and things like this. Cal Welf, the alien, is introduced. I am Cal Welf. I'm an alien far, 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 far away. Cal Welf is far away. I am Cal Welf. This is the first time ever I've been traveling to other planets, other solar systems, things like this. I am Cal Welf. I am doing great. I've been to other planets so far. See you soon. I'll be heading towards planet Earth in another few months away. I am Cal Welf.
The spaceship just bypassed the asteroid 1997 XF11. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh my God, there's more alien ships. Oh my God, there's more aliens.
Ah, okay. How many videos did you make this week on your YouTube?
I just made a Cal Welf video and things like this. I invented the word. I posted a couple of comedy videos so far.
Did you make any weather videos this week too?
I did a weather report for Los Angeles rainstorm.
What's working like at the Mayflower Mall like again? Is it nice to be back to work?
Yes, it's nice to be back to work for me again. I got something else to say. Cowboy Frankie Dow bobblehead. It's now available for pre-order on National Bobblehead Hall of Fame, Wisconsin.
How much do those sell for in Canadian dollars?
$30 American.
So what's that? $31 Canadian?
There's the one limited edition one that's a bit more too. It's the dark blue one that matches Frankie's usual jacket. I think that one's an Amazon exclusive for like $50.
Anybody got questions for Frankie McDonald this week on the Comedeorological panel?
I do have a question. How hot does it get in Moscow? He said Moscow is experiencing very cold weather right now, but in summer, what is it like?
Really hot weather in this July and summertime in Moscow, Russia. Siberia gets extremely hot weather in the summer as well.
Extremely hot. How hot is that? Like in Celsius, how hot does it get?
It gets over 30 Celsius.
Wow.
I would think Siberia is comparable to, Winnipeg in the summertime, because Siberia is a big place. We think of Siberia as being like just the coldest place on Earth. But actually, when you look at how much of the Earth Siberia takes up, it's this really, really huge place, and it extends very far south too in parts of it, right? So you can imagine it gets some pretty hot weather, like the prairies might get. Maybe if you go a little further north up to where Joe Stover lives, for example, like that, and you don't get quite the same heat up there, do you, Joe Stover? But it doesn't. You have to go too far south sometimes to find it.
Yakutsk, Russia could get well over 30 degrees to 40 degrees in the summer months.
I have a question for Frankie McDonald. Who would win? Who would you rather win in a hockey game, the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Ottawa Senators?
I go for Senators. You go for Leafs.
Not me. Joey can go for the Leafs. I don't like the Leafs. I was just trying to.
Joey goes for the Leafs. I go for the Senators.
Who do I go for?
Jets.
Yeah, that's right.
Ghost over. What happened with the World Junior game tonight?
Canada won.
Canada won. Frankie knows. It was Canada was up 2-0, and Czechia, I can't remember how they pronounce that now, but Czechia
tied up the game. They went into overtime. Canada scored.
It was a beautiful goal. It was a really good tournament. Even from today, I watched that bronze medal game between Sweden and the United States, and it was the final score was 8-7 in overtime. So it was just a really good tournament all around. But the good guys won, let's say.
I'm going to circle back to frog rain. I do have a question. Now, has Moscow ever had an occurrence of frog rain in winter or summer?
In summer, they get frog rain. In the winter, in summer.
Frankie, what's the weather supposed to be like this next week in Colorado?
It's going to bring cold weather in Colorado. And a possible polar vortex going to hit for Colorado in late January.
Where's the polar vortex?
I don't like the sound of this.
Here's my fans.
Here they come.
Oh, they're running over to you.
They're sprinting.
Well, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't go
Frankie,
sprinting over to Frankie McDonald?
Yeah, no, he's outside of an A&W, correct? That's where he usually...
No, you're on call with Joey Levi. Hello. I see him. I love you. Frankie was telling us.
Joey, you're on mute. Hello, Frankie fans. Joey,
I'm on mute. Sorry. I've been doing the space bar mute thing. How are you guys doing, Frankie fans?
I love you.
Right on. We love you too. Welcome to the Comedeorological Report. This is our radio show about how much the weather sucks. How do you guys find the weather in Sydney?
I feel you. It's like 20 minus degrees.
Joey's going to edit out the enthusiasm.
The enthusiasm because it's for the radio.
I love that vape.
What do you boys got to go today? What? You got some Donair sauce? What?
No, we just came from Cinnabon.
Oh, just Cinnabon. How much that set you back now these days? $5? What?
No, I wish. Set me back like $50.
$50. Go on.
How much icing is on that? Lots of icing? There better be.
Talking about this?
Oh, I thought you said you're at Cinnabon. What the hell?
Oh, no. We went to Cineplex.
They went to see a movie.
No wonder.
Yeah, you'll go bankrupt.
I got my muting thing figured out.
No wonder all that stuff costs you. Like everything at Cineplex, like every single kernel costs you about $2.
You have to sell your soul and sign over your firstborn to get in that place.
Yeah, but you got to use your scene card.
I just got some $1 powdered donuts.
Right on, guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Little did they know that they are now superstars.
That was awesome. They were so enthusiastic that they almost got killed coming on the show.
They almost got ran over.
Did you hear about this? They get the Frankie Down bobblehead wearing a cowboy hat. Picture not yet revealed. You can pre-order it right now.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Well, we were talking briefly there about Pete's weather in Colorado. He was asking Frankie. Brandon, you may be a little bit of an expert about that part of the world, seeing as it's just a little bit south of you. What is going on? I mean, it's been really boring, hasn't it been?
Yeah, it's been pretty boring. That was awesome, by the way. We have high pressure kind of locked in place, kind of a ridge of high pressure. So it's kind of a Rex block pattern here. And that's been keeping, our temperatures even all the way down to Colorado, for example, seeing some pretty pleasant weather last couple of days. And we have the storm systems on the Pacific coast, and we're going to continue to see atmospheric rivers. So we got all the problems, especially California up to Oregon and through Washington states there with a torrential amount of rain. We're going to continue to be dealing with a deluge of rain. I saw a weather model yesterday hinting at about possibly seeing some rainfall amounts exceeding well over 300 millimeters on the coastal sections on the Pacific coast here. So that is what we are going to be dealing with here for the next little while. And that will, we have, as I mentioned, high pressure in place, and we do have we had a pretty impressive system last week that produced, freezing rain for at least 6 millimeters of freezing rain, and that caused all kinds of problems after Christmas there. That was the only big weather event since Christmas, is that freezing rain. We had a big rainbow as well, so pretty impressive to see a rainbow at the end of December there, but temperatures have been staying relatively below freezing for the last number of days, and we will see the little bump up in temperature as we go to the weekend here with that tight inversion in place. We get that westerly flow kicking in, and even into next week, we're going to stay on the mild side. No big weather events here in the prairies, maybe just a couple clipper systems. That would be about it.
Joey, I sent you a link to chat, Zoom chat.
Yeah, Canada. There's actually not a lot of weather stories anyways. I mean, the cold place is Santa Maria Jack, Nunavut, minus 38, plus 12 in White Walk, minus 10 in Prince George. And we're looking to be over seasonal for quite a few days here. Look at Saturday, 0, Sunday, -1, Monday, -2. It's not even cold at night. Gets down to -10 Monday night, -11, cloudy Tuesday, Wednesday, but really not much of this weather that's hitting the Pacific coast is anywhere near a big story for the interior. And it's definitely not making its way in the prairies. The average high at this time of year, -5, average low, -13. The lowest temperature ever recorded in 1991, -42.2. But this isn't really interesting. It's hard to talk about weather when there's not much going on. That's just the way it is. What about out towards Manitoba, Brandon? What is anything different for them where Joe Stover lives?
Well, next week they're going to have to deal with the Arctic air mass coming down from the north, especially towards the middle part of next week. Looks like we will see probably not as cold in southern Manitoba as it will be up in Churchill. We'll see those temperatures dive to the -30s there. So that will be a lot of fun for next week. And that cold Arctic air mass looks to dive to the east.
The end of January, you got the cold air heading for Texas. In late January, cold air is going all the way down Texas.
So we may have stories coming, but not for a few weeks. And this is kind of typical in January, where it's like winter just sort of settles in and not much is going on, because you need kind of warm weather somewhere for cold weather to chase, to make storms and make stories. Joe Stover, -30, you're kind of used to that. I mean, you got the big beard for a reason, don't you, bud?
Yeah, it's kind of a necessity this time of year, but so far January has treated us all right. It's a very relatively mild -17 out right now, and that's for those that are listening. It's nighttime where I'm sending this in from, so it's so -17, not so bad. And like Brandon said,
that'd be the bottom end of what's normal here for a cold night in January.
Yeah,
you're in Churchill, Manitoba, for crying out loud.
True, but hey, don't sell yourself short there, Wells. You get pretty frigid too, But yeah, it's supposed to. It's actually going to get up to -9 on Saturday, which is again very nice for these parts. But then, like Brandon says, it's we're going to start seeing the temperature plummet around Sunday night, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes for folks, making sure that you have your vehicles plugged in. That's a must in northern Manitoba. No, actually must in lots of places. I'm sure they plug their vehicles in wells.
Yeah, well, we had to when we hit that -44 day. But the difference is, sure, we get a few cold moments, but you have polar bears.
With a polar, we play dead. No, polar bears eat dead things.
And we definitely do not.
Yeah,
although, there's tundra. I can see tundra on top of the mountain here. I mean, there's a little bit of the Arctic up there, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Literally. Weather joke, comedian. Pete doesn't like that one. Pete does not like that one.
That was a sort of laugh. Pretty cool.
I'm starting to worry that Joe is going to become a dad soon. Already working up to the dad jokes.
Pete, on a scale of 1 being the worst and 10 being the most awesome, where would you rate that weather joke?
What joke? There was no joke.
Remember, I got a feeling I got feelings, bro. Remember that before you answer. I got feelings.
It's so cold that I feel numb to your feelings right now. It was not the. It's 24 degrees here, which is below freezing. In Celsius, that would be pretty. That would be above freezing. And I don't know.
No, 32 is freezing.
I don't know. That
32
might
is
be
our zero.
Sub-zero right there.
Yeah, 32 is our zero.
And did you
Yeah.
hear for this? Monica's
I thought-
doing great these days.
This is what makes so much sense about the Canadian system, Pete, because when you get to zero, if you go above it, things melt. If you go below it, things freeze. It's a really simple system.
Yeah, but it's
It's like, what is 32? It's just,
There's
someone
not
just picked a
enough-
number. Just like they rolled some dice or something. They're like, okay, 32.
There's not enough freedom involved in the.
Hey, we got all sorts of wonderful, arbitrary, whatchamacallits that we love to press upon the rest of the world to make
units.
there have to be conversions, and we have a lot of fun with our arbitrary systems of sorts.
Joe Stover, what's been going on with the How Do You Do review show?
Well, just with a busy bear season and sickness here and there, it kind of been stalled for a little bit, but the engine's still running. We got a new episode that's coming out tomorrow that my buddy Tim Friesen is going to host. It's his kind of year in review of the best in 2022. But I hope to be back with new episodes the week after that, because it's it's time. It's time to make good radio, Joey. Don't you know?
Well, I guess the thing is,
and Brandon, of course, too.
with a music show, at least you can run reruns a lot more successfully than you can with a weather show. It's like, if you run a rerun of this show, it's like, maybe if you run it in a winter episode in the summer, it'll be interesting or something, but you don't want to confuse people by running a weather show from 3 weeks ago. And then everyone's like, oh my God, there's a big, there's a crazy massive storm heading to Ontario. I heard a crazy blizzard. And they're like, again?
Oh, it'd be like
freaking out.
Like War of the Worlds, Canadian weather style.
Yeah. I'm your host, Joey Only Orson
lots
Well.
of severe weather down in the States. Southeastern United States is getting a lot of severe weather, tornadoes and thunderstorms.
Yeah, that's true. They had a few tornadoes this week, eh, Frankie?
Yeah.
Oh, I know something about tornadoes. I heard that they're going to film a sequel to Twister. I learned that this week.
I've been hearing that was possible.
It's happening.
Oh, Brendan Hout can confirm.
Oh, yes, I can confirm. I saw it on, what do you call that movie site? Somewhere on the internet, but yeah, I can confirm it. Oh, yeah.
Word up.
Back in the year 2016, Independence Day Resurgence came out. That's a sequel to Independence Day.
Right, yeah. It was one of those movies that they probably shouldn't have made, but it was made.
That's most movies, man.
That's a big list. Yeah, Imogen, you're right. That's a big list. There's floods out in California, and up north it's freezing cold. And this a living off of the road is getting pretty old. Up on Cripple Creek. Come on.
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Some of the headlines, 3.3 million U.S. adults were displaced by natural disasters last year. UK saw hottest ever year in 2022.
That's almost hard to believe. That's about 1% of the entire United States population. U.S. is around 300, 400 million. 3 million would be 1% of 300 million. It'd be a little less than 1%.
Why are you using math at us? Why are you throwing
that's not fair, Pete.
That's not actually
pool, bro. Dirty pool, bro.
Not even in the.
Actually, it says more than 1.3% of the adult population. Maybe he's right. Maybe his weather.
Okay, first of all, we know Pete's right. We know Pete's right. This is not in dispute.
Yeah.
However,
Pete is always right.
I'm arguing because I'm a combative jerk, and bringing math, we understand air currents and downpours and weather-related type thingamajiggers. Math, no, Pete, bad. You and your lift life.
That's the most bad thing I've done.
Did you hear about when you're crossing the United States for Canada, the border guards ask you a lot of questions to say, what's your business, what's your purpose, what you're doing, and things like this, etc.
Yeah, they
that.
do. The Canadian border customs is a lot more strict than I found the U.S. Mexico ones to be. Coming back from Mexico, I was in Mexico for Christmas, and coming back from there, they didn't really. They were pretty quick about it.
So okay,
Going into Mexico, they're
1.3%.
just like, you gotta fill out a form and stuff. But I found last time I was in Canada, it flew through there. They, I don't want to say they were jerks, but they were sort of like a little bit more
They're
firm.
jerks. Dude,
Yeah,
they're
they're
jerks.
jerks.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
they're jerks.
I
They're
want to
jerks.
say it, but I want to say it for you. More than 1.3% of the adult population in the U.S. So this is true. In the last year, this is what this article is saying. WeatherBug, household pulse survey: 3.3 million adults displaced by hurricanes, floods, fires, tornadoes, and other disasters. So that's incredible.
What about that other customs, Russian customs?
In Russia, they're really nice when you cross the border there. That's all they're so kind to you.
They're so kind that they might not let you come back out of the other side of the border. They might be like, "Oh, welcome home. You're staying."
What about the Libya customs and China customs?
Libya to China? China customs? China is usually all right, but if you think, they could be a little bit harsh sometimes. China customs. So I had one time where they set me aside and talked to me for a little while, and then one time coming out of China. Long story, though. No real problems. You don't want to argue with them, that's for sure.
This was the tornado in Illinois
What
this
about
week.
that other country, Libya?
I have no clue.
Look at that. Those big wind turbines just giving her. There's a tornado. This was in Illinois on January 3rd. And wow, that's quite the tornado. That's Maroa, Illinois. So there's our weather. There's our tornado report. We knew. What about trying to get into Japan, Frankie?
Oh my God, in Japan.
What's the border guards like there?
That means, did you hear about this? Australian customs is really strict.
Is it?
I believe that. You know, in Australia, you need a prescription for melatonin. That seems sort of absurd to me. Yeah.
That's insane.
They don't want people sleeping to death down there, Pete. Come on.
Yeah, with all them spiders and snakes and stuff, a good night's sleep. God forbid.
That means that it's really strict to leave Australia to another country.
What's it like trying to cross the Alberta border there, Brandon?
Alberta borders within the country, Canada.
Well, crossing the Alberta border, you probably wouldn't even know you're in Alberta until you see a nice prairie sky, Chinook Arch. That's what's like crossing the Alberta border.
When I was on tour with Bob Wayne and the Outlaw Carnies, or Joey on the Outlaw Band, we had one of those big 15.
That means in the British
Hey,
Columbia,
Frankie.
over in Quebec, one side of the road is Canada, other side of the road is the United States.
That's right. So we're on tour with this Outlaw Country Band, Bob Wayne and the Outlaw Carnies, and he's one of those best friends of Hank Williams III. He's a total bad dude. He's cool, but he wasn't really supposed to be in Canada necessarily, but here we are on tour.
Well, they tell me I can't cross their border for all things I've done wrong.
And he was really scared about getting caught. So as we're driving along on Highway 16, the sign says Alberta border 2 kilometers. And then I'm like, oh my God, Bob, the Alberta border. He's driving. I'm in the front passenger seat. And he's like, what? I'm like, we got to cross the Alberta border. I didn't even think about it. Like, you're going to get busted. He's like, no, what? It's like totally got him panicking, right?
That's Montana, Alberta border. It's like the federal border.
I'm talking Highway 16 going into Alberta from British Columbia. But then you pass the sign that says welcome to Wild Rose Province, big board, it's a big billboard type sign. And Bob says, oh, you were just getting me going. I was like, no, man, the actual border crossings up ahead, you'll see. And then of course you get up a little further and you have Jasper National Park, and they have the little booth there where they take your money. But this had Bob freaked, right? And I was like, whatever you do, just keep your American mouth shut. I'll talk our way through this. And then so we pull up, and dude's like, hey, visiting to Jasper. I was like, yeah, actually our band's playing tonight. Can you want to go see the show? And he's like, oh yeah, hey, where? And and then we drive off and Bob's like, oh, you're such a jerk. Yeah. Oh, I really had him panicking for a minute. He's like, oh, you're going to get totally busted at the Alberta border, man. But some of the states, see, this is a reasonable thing for an American to think, because some states, when you cross from state to state, you got to pass through some sort of a thing where you talk to some kind of a guy. There's some of the big interstates are like that.
Best backseat driver, Joey. Don't panic. Don't panic.
No, we didn't pay to get into Jasper National Park. We stayed at the hotel where we played. I can't remember the name of the hotel. It's a real big, nice one. It was one of those times where you said the sits or something like that. I don't know. What's it like trying to get into Greenland, Frankie?
That means you have to go through Canada EU customs.
Did you know that Island is now, once it's ratified by both the Danish Parliament and the Canadian Parliament, Hans Island in between Greenland and Ellesmere Island will be both Canadian and Danish, with a border right through the middle.
Greenland is part of the European Union.
And giving Canada two countries that they have a border with. It used to be just Canada, United States. Now it's Canada and Denmark.
And this is really good.
Border.
Denmark is within
so Canada is now also an expansionist empire like Russia.
It always was.
Canada has a border with Norway.
No, that's
too.
what happens, Pete, when two nations can make an agreement on something instead of.
Because the next time Canada and Denmark need to have a war, now we have a place to sit down and have a game of hockey.
The Hans Island Friendship Summit. We're trying to turn this into this.
Next time it's like it's going to be a big war between Canada and Denmark for some reason. We'll just have a big hockey game up there on our island that we friggin' own together.
Well, you know what the actual.
Because that's what you do when you're Northerners. You just play hockey.
Well,
and then the loser has to basically give you a bunch of money or something. Whatever the war was over, has to give you all their fish or.
Well, before they figured out this entire the border thing, the Canadian military would come, put a Canadian flag and a bottle of Canadian Club. They'd take off, and then a few years later, or whenever the Danish decided that it was gonna be their turn, they would go on the island, plant a Denmark flag, and then whatever a drink of Danish custom was
Denmark flag and European Union flag.
And the idea behind this is how we passively aggressively were fighting this war over this island, because what happens when you drink liquor in the Arctic is you could freeze to death very easily, right? So, trying our best
to join the European Union.
Spies, the Canadian military and the Danish military trying to get each other drunk, trying to freeze each other to death. One of us will get the island, but now not anymore. Now we own the island together, I guess.
Together.
Isn't that nice? Exactly.
It's very nice.
Well, we almost had Caribbean countries join Canada.
Turks and Caicos.
Yes, that is correct.
That
was almost our Hawaii.
Turks and Caicos and Cayman Islands. King Charles rules Turks and Caicos and Cayman Islands. It's because it's a British rule. King Charles rules those islands.
What would have happened is it would have got gentrified with all of Canada's wealthiest people. And we'd never get to go there. It'd be like Florida all over again.
Just imagine if big volcano erupted to create a new island in the South Pacific somewhere. What happens if they became part of Russia? What's that mean?
Hey,
I guess
that'd
be Russia's new island.
Did you know that in Russia there's two TV channels? Channel 1 is propaganda, and channel 2 is KGB officers saying "turn back at once" to channel 1.
Awesome.
Thank you. That was a Yakov Smirnoff joke. Thank you.
I miss him.
He was awesome. What a country.
You've been kind of quiet, Imogen, and you got all kinds of wind and stuff going on in Victoria. Talk to us. Imogen Cookie Bailey.
Lots of wind, light rain, lots of trash blowing around. It is kind of nice because it blows the hippie smell away, but it's a little windy. So
and you can get trash in your eyes if you're not careful in Victoria.
Yeah, it's to be fair, there are a lot of people smoking pot in public, and it kind of, when we get nice wind, it actually kind of makes the smell go away. So it's nice to have a little fresh air.
Getting tired of it already?
No, see, I love weed. I just don't want to smell it all the time. I love
I
it
do.
when I want
Yeah.
to smoke it, and I don't want to make
That's like
other
some
people.
places in Colorado. It's like
Yeah.
I can smell it sometimes from my car from outdoors. Like I'll be
Yeah.
driving through certain areas, and I guess there's big grows some places, and I'll be like, say even my passenger or something, and it's just it just seeps through the car.
It smells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get those tornadoes in Colorado sometimes, and that blows the hippie smell away.
Yeah, we get some good cool winds out here.
Did Hurricane Fiona blow the hippie smells away, Frankie?
Hey, whoa, a lot of it.
A lot of it, yeah.
Well, that's a win. Earlier
We didn't hear what you
today-
say. Could you repeat that, Frankie? Did the Hurricane Fiona blow the hippie smells away, Frankie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Sent
I
them to
love-
Newfoundland.
I love the way Frankie says that. He's so matter of fact. Just yeah, it did.
That's why they need those west winds on the West Coast for sure. Like West Coast is where a lot of that hippie smell is concentrated, you know.
Dear Lord, you guys are just loving
Sometimes,
that, aren't you?
yeah.
It's
Sometimes
a
the
thing
strong
here, man.
winds. Sometimes the strong winds in Alberta blow all the mosquitoes across the province, all the way to Saskatchewan, where the strong winds continue to blow them eastwardly, and they keep showing. And eventually, they all hit the buildings of Winnipeg and settle, and that's why there's a lot of mosquitoes there.
Hey, why is Manitoba so windy? Because Saskatchewan sucks and Ontario blows.
Ah,
That was terrible.
Was that one any better, Pete?
it was, yes.
You can tell a Manitoban, but you can't tell them much. Saskatchewan's a province where you can go to the second floor of your house and watch your. For 3 days, you can watch your wife run away.
See, I always heard that joke is you could just spend a weekend watching your dog run away, but I guess in some areas it's the same thing.
No, you go get your dog. It's like, oh, there
Yeah.
it is. You go get it.
Saskatchewan, easy to draw, hard to spell.
I
Throttle back.
I thought you were
guys,
going
throttle
that
back.
direction with it from the
Yeah,
second
okay.
it off.
Whole new slate. You're listening to the Comedeorological Report on CFUR 88.7 FM, CKW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. And yeah, it sucks. Actually, it's really boring lately. It's that's how I'd characterize the weather. And you know, it's hard to make a weather show. I'm like really trying to talk about weather this week, and there's nothing, you know. And then every time I try to talk, my broken tooth just makes me hate my life. And
What did
and
you
then
do?
luckily for me, Frankie came up with Cal Wealth,
I like to introduce myself. My name is Cal Wealth.
and that got me back into a good mood. I'm you know, I don't care how much my face hurts. I can't wait to see another Cal Wealth video.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there. This is our first show after New Year's, and like everyone is just completely dead quiet. Are you all recovering from New Year's, or have you just gotten so bored with the year already that you have nothing to say?
I've been laughing the whole time.
I watched movies with my children New Year's
New
Eve.
Year's till like 4 a.m. and then I was downtown. I had a friendly group of some Latin passengers, and I played some reggaeton, and there was no way we were gonna get them to their destination by midnight. So we watched the fireworks from the moon roof downtown. So I just met these people like 5-10 minutes before the midnight fireworks happened, and so I watched some fireworks in downtown Denver with some strangers for New Year's Eve, which was kind of different. I definitely have never had a New Year's like that.
That sounds pretty neat, actually.
Yeah,
like
when
that.
it got close to midnight countdown, all the traffic just stopped. Everyone just started walking in the road. All the cars just started beeping and stuff. But we got a really good angle to see the fireworks. So not perfect angle, but it was good enough. And the finale pretty much finished right when I got them to their destination, which was just like the walking area. That was a better place to view the fireworks from than my car, but it worked out.
After I got done watching movies with the kids and then putting them to bed, then I hit a couple bong hits and was real baked, and played a game of hockey or baseball or something on my PS4. And at some point I was like, oh yeah, it's New Year's Eve. I wonder how long till New Year's Eve. And I turned on my phone and it said 12:03. And I was like, oh. Next.
Yeah, you were messaging me. You were messaging me that you lost track of New Year's until after the fact.
Yeah, because
Hey, the clock changed. I think I sent you some photos from that night. The ones that I could send.
Yeah. Go. First time? Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, buddy.
I was hanging out with some friends behind a wall of silence and anonymity.
Wow.
But
a wall of silence and anonymity and nudity. Nudity.
Yes. But it was good times with people I hadn't seen in a while. So that was kind of fun.
On.
And I had told a friend that at midnight on New Year's, I would be wearing the Count Chocula suit and I'd be blowing fireballs. And that's exactly what I did. So I was blowing fireballs and dressed as Count Chocula and also as a very gay disco ball. So
that seems really dangerous to be blowing fireballs in a highly flammable costume. I mean, that's definitely not made of Nomex.
No, there's a lot of the way that I do it, there's a lot of, it's like a magic trick. It's that I am wearing something that is very extremely flammable and extremely dangerous. However, I've got a little trick in how I handle my accelerants so it doesn't pose a risk. It's not going to get into it because pretty weirdly technical and invisible and it'll ruin the trick. But there is a way of doing very dangerous things in a very safe way. So
I get it. I don't believe you.
Oh, I know you don't. I'm not just being reckless. I just prefer to come across that way. I want it to appear that way.
She doesn't have a plan. She's just trying to reassure us that she won't burn her hair.
Oh no, dude, my hair is intact. Like there's a lot of finer points to it. Like I was doing a blowing fire one time and the wind changed direction. And that's one of the more dangerous elements. As you know, you deal with fire. Change of direction in the wind means that fire is going the other way. And I blew a rather large, about a 5 to 6 foot column, and the wind changed direction aggressively and blew it right back in my face. So my entire head was on fire. But I had everything secured and protected. And the only damage was that my eyelashes got a little bit singed because I didn't put a protective coat on my eyelashes. But everything else.
People are like, that was awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like I did prolonged sustain on it. Like I held it for, a solid 45, 60 seconds. Like
that. I think you should become a wildfire fighter. And if you join our crew, we'll go out there. And when the red shirts are like, okay, you got to backburn this whole section. We'll be like, Imogen, get to work. And she'd be like,
there's a lot to it. And it's
just burning the whole friggin' forest down and setting that backburn up, man. That'd be one way to do a backburn. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe not as cool as dropping those big orbs from the helicopter, but cool nonetheless.
Super fun, yeah. And so that was my New Year's, and then a couple of days later, I got a message from a magazine that I knew was going to be running some of my imagery, and I discovered that they actually put me on the cover. So New Year's was Count Chocula and fireballs and a lot of sparkly stuff. And then a couple of days later, I found out that I'm on the cover of a fashion magazine that is not the kind of magazine that, it's not the kind of outlet that typically runs my imagery, but definitely more of the Versace, Dolce & Gabbana crowd, which is kind of wild. And then this morning I woke up to a message that the other magazine that's going to be running my work wants to do a big interview with me. So later this month, that's happening. Neat.
Get on. It's moving forward.
It's been a wild first few days of the year, just saying. There's, all sorts of stuff going on, and then a whole bunch of stuff that's hidden by non-disclosure agreements and whatnot, but there's so much going on behind the scenes. It's pretty crazy. So
disclosure agreements. I don't believe you. Joe Stover, what do people do in what do people do up there? What do people do up there New Year's Eve?
They fire
Churchill, Manitoba.
There's there's house parties. There's all sorts of, there's the bar has a big soiree on the go. So kind of like any other town, except, and I'm sure there's some other towns that do this. I've been in some towns that in Newfoundland that have done this. But once midnight comes, everyone da 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 and all da 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 da. You smooch, smooch, smooch. Then they grab their guns and go outside and fire off a bunch of bullets. So so a lot of rural folk do that. So
actually have a rule when you enter. You have a rule when you enter wells that says no firearms discharged in this town.
Because I got low battery on my phone. I'm changing phones now.
Frank, Pete, I got a quick question for you now that I have the floor here. Are you a big Corey Hart fan? Do you know who Corey Hart is?
Hell yeah.
Not familiar with the name, to be honest with you.
So he also wears his sunglasses at night. What gives?
Oh, I know that song. I think there's also a Lil Wayne song that's similar, but
Lil Wayne is nowhere near Corey Hart. Be ashamed.
Those are the Blues Brothers.
Oh, the Blues Brothers.
And also the way the street lamp makes the sunglasses glow. I was just entertaining myself.
It's cool, man. It's cool. But the Blues Brothers, Jake and his silent brother Elwood.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, man. The Blues Brothers. They got 100 miles to Chicago. And we're wearing sunglasses.
And Timbuk 3 says, "My future's so bright, I gotta wear shades."
Yeah, the Justin Bieber, he probably wears sunglasses at night.
Yeah, seems like that kind of.
He's not as cool as the Blues Brothers, so I don't think there's any standard for whether you for who gets to wear sunglasses at night.
I think if you're cool like Pete, then you're allowed.
I'm not convinced that Pete's even wearing pants. Pete does what he wants.
There's two laws: man's law and Pete's law.
Happy New Year's 2022, 2023. To every single person in the world, I wish every single person, the whole entire face of the planet Earth, a Happy New Year from Frankie Down.
Frankie, what did you do on New Year's Eve in Sydney, Nova Scotia?
I went to the bars and dance and things like this.
What kind of band was playing?
Season bands playing, other bands playing, then a countdown.
Yeah. Did girls kiss you?
Yeah. And they danced with me as well.
Man, you had a better New Year's Eve than I did. In fact, you had a better New Year's Eve than I had the last 2 years of my life.
The woes of Joey.
I'm not woeing that hard. You're like the first people I've talked to all week, though, besides children. Crickets.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It was like, I saw Norma at the store. Yeah. There we go. So that's what happened in Wells this week. Here's your report. This week in Wells. Well, I went to a store and got eggs. And there was Norma. And I said, "Hi, Norma." She said, "Hi, Joey." Said,
that's pretty normal for you?
"Nice weather." She said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, bye now."
That was deep. That was so deep. Deep like the mines of Minolta.
That's my week in Wells. I got no vehicle right now, so I'm just sort of just chilling.
Just existing.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's like that in life.
Being one
down and enjoy your EI. And
I'd like the Brooks Bandits report, please.
Oh yes, the Brooks Bandits report. So this week we've actually, I think the last time we lost a game was back in December, middle of December. So we started playing a couple of games this week. We started back up again after the Christmas break. So we won our first game at least 6-1. And that was the day when I had to, we had some technical difficulties in our real country booth. So I had to move over to our other station booth, and everything is like flipping backwards in there. So I had to.
When is the Brooks Bandits start their playoffs?
That's right. Also, this week, yes, the Brooks Bandits did clinch the playoff spot. So we're going to the playoffs again this year. And we won again the other night, 3-2. Oh, yeah, it was 5-3 over the Drumheller Dragons. We were down 3-1. We came back to win that one 5-3. So that was an exciting game over those Drumheller Dragons. We're like big rivalries with the Drumheller Dragons. So that was the story there. And then we're playing tomorrow night in Fort McMurray. So they're up in the bus heading up to Fort McMurray to play the Fort McMurray Oil Barons tomorrow night. And then they're back down to Bonnyville Saturday night to play the Bonnyville Pontiacs. So it's going to be an exciting weekend of hockey, not in Brooks, but on their radio station. That's for sure.
It'll be an exciting weekend for you at the radio station.
Well,
And what was your New
thank you,
Year's
Luna
Eve
G.
like in Brooks,
Hockey.
Alberta? What do they do in Brooks, Alberta for New Year's? Some cowboy dancing going on at the hotel or something like that?
Yeah, of course, cowboy dancing. You get there's a guy named DJ Otto. He's down at the Brooks Hotel and does he has a spotlight going on top of the roof of the hotel there, but I didn't go to the Brooks Hotel. I was invited to a friend's place for New Year's Eve there. We had a fondue party, and it was a lot of food. We had like tiger shrimp. We had what else? We had elk. We had steak. We had lobster, all in a fondue. Like,
God dang, Brian.
That's all the stuff that I can no longer chew. That sounds really good though. My new strategy is to never eat again.
And we're just going to circle back to Joey's sadness. Thanks, Joey. Brandon had a wonderful New Year's where he got to eat elk and giant shrimps and all sorts of
and I
weird
drank
stuff.
like a
But we're gonna
bottle of
circle back to
wine.
Joey's sadness.
I don't drink either, Brandon.
Let's just take a moment and be sad for Joey.
I'm not sad at all. I'm just talking trash. I have a
You're
good
just
life.
mourning all the wonderful things that you'll never eat again.
Well, in some ways, actually,
chew on.
In some ways, actually, I'm having an easier time eating since that piece broke off. Because it was like the cavity, everything would get so stuck in there that it was really.
Get a gold tooth pirate salad.
So you had a DJ at the Brooks Hotel. How come you didn't have a cowboy band playing at the Brooks Hotel? That doesn't make sense to me.
Cowboy bands. They had a couple months ago. They had Afro Man there. So
I know, but it's New Year's Eve. You don't have like someone like Tim Huss or some. There's a lot of good.
Clean my room, then I got high.
Yeah.
And if you're down in Nanton at the Auditorium Hotel, for example, you would have had someone like Tim Huss or something. Like.
Ian Tyson is singing Navajo Run. Ranchers in the corner are dealing 5-card stuff. Coyotes are howling underneath the moon. Here at the hotel saloon.
Oh man, Alberta's changing.
No,
it's that cocaine, I tell you.
Because I got high.
That cocaine? What?
I was gonna go to school, and then I got high.
Alberta's changed the last 20 years since the cocaine. Frankie McDonald, how does everyone find you on the wide world of the web?
My Twitter is @FrankieMcD. My Facebook is Frankie McDonald. My Instagram is FrankieMcD1984. My TikTok's FrankDown1984. My Clapper is FrankDown1984. My Twitch is FrankDown1984. My Snapchat is Frankie MACDON. And my YouTube channel, Stocks and Whoops, and my LinkedIn is Frankie McDonald. Best of luck, yeah. I'm Frankie McDonald. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report, which all you only every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time.
Right on, everybody. And that's true. The Comedy Plus Meteorology Report. Comedeorology is science that we invented. It's a real science about how funny the weather can be. That's right. You've been listening to us with Brandon Houck down in Brooks, Alberta, and Pete Galenko in Boulder, Colorado, and Joe Stover up in Churchill, Manitoba, and Imogen Cookie Bailey down there in Victoria. I'm Joey Broken Tooth Only. And you've been hearing our show on CKW. Did I say that? No, CKW 959 and C4 88.7 FM. Thank you very much. Radio stations.
Monica's doing great so far. Monica Bowley's doing great. She's doing really well.
So that's everyone. Monica's doing really well.
Which is a nice contrast to Joey's sadness.
That's true. She doesn't have any broken teeth.
No, she does not have any broken teeth. She has an absolutely beautiful smile. Monica's an absolute doll, 100% through and through. She's a sweetheart.
That is true.
No broken teeth. Joey.
No broken teeth.
We'll save that for Joey. New Year's summary and Joey's sadness.
I'm not sad. I'm just in pain.
There is a difference. I hear you on that one, Joey. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes people hurt are not angry. They just don't feel good.
They just don't like chewing food
I feel
anymore.
like you're both sad and don't feel good, though, to be honest with you. I don't mean to be mean, but
I'm pretty content besides the fact I can't eat anymore,
Well, that's a big thing.
Joey can't bite an elk for the time
Other
being.
than not eating anymore, who needs food anyways? I'm just gonna rise above that
I'm just
transcendentally.
gonna smoke my pizza. I'm just saying.
Get some
your pizza.
Ensures. Have you tried Ensures? I lived off them things for a long time.
Is there milk in them?
I believe they have dairy-free ones, but I think there is dairy in those. I don't think they're milk-based, like necessarily like milk-based, but I do believe there's dairy in them. I'm not 100% on that one.
My God, everybody, this is what it's come to. I'm talking about whether or not to eat and to live off Ensure. This has been our show for this week. I'm Joey Only here in Wells, British Columbia,
Or
living our
Bruce.
heart up in the mountains, man. Yeah, send me your Ensures. And good luck this week. Be safe out there. Good thing the weather's pretty boring. Bye for now.
Bye.
This has been Joey's descent into geriatric aging.
Gosh,
Yeah.
you're relentless, Joey.
It'll happen to you too next year, Imogen.
In one fell swoop, Joey
Next
turned
year.
95. One move. That's all it took.
I'm in Aurora, Colorado right now. It took me a while to try to find a backdrop that had a little bit of snow and nature. Well, I mean, there's still snow on it now.
Imogen's like a cover girl, and she's laughing at my broken face. It's how appropriate.
Joey, we're the same age.
It'll happen to you next year, I promise.
Why do you think it hasn't?
catch up.
How many teeth do you think I have? I mean, I've got a few rows, so I can afford to lose a couple, but
At least 20,
Yeah, Joey,
Not
you
enough.
got
maybe 30.
Hey everybody, it's Frankie McDonald. I got a major announcement for you. They're reprinting the copies of my book, Be Prepared to Frank Down Guide to Life, Weather and Everything in April 2023. According to the publisher in Nova Scotia, they're reprinting copies of my book, Be Prepared to Frank Down Guide to Life, Weather and Everything in the third week of April 2023. And the copies of my book is getting reprinted in April 2023. In the third week in April 2023, the copy of my book is Be Prepared to Frank Down Guide to Life, Weather and Everything. It's getting reprinted. I'm Frank McDonald. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joey. Hi, Joey.
Joey Only.
Joey only?
Yes, I'm Frank McDonald. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Cameron Weather Dude, comedian plus meteorology. Joey Only, he's a really nice guy. He fights fires in the summertime and for fire season, British Columbia summertime. And Joey Only's a really nice guy. I'm on CFUR 88.7 FM in Prince George and CKUW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Joey Only's a really nice guy. He does weather reports and things like that. He fights fires and everything. Joey Only's a really nice guy. I'm on his show every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Best luck to you. I'm Frank Down. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report. Joey Only every Thursday night. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joey only.